All right, here we go. Welcome everybody. Let's get my other viewpoint camera set up here. Here's a view from the other webcam up on the shelf today. Kind of shows a little bit bigger picture of the studio. You guys have to tell me, let me know if you want me to go into maybe a series of videos on what I'm using and how I built the studio and all my equipment and all that stuff. This is actually my third podcast studio I've built. So yeah, this one's finally in my own house. And two others were in a buddy of mine's house. We did podcasts together. And just so happened that he had to move a couple times. It wasn't really planned. The plan was to stay there long term. So, actually, you know what? This is my fourth studio now that I think about it. Yeah, 4 studios. So this is kind of a studio. Let me get my other view back up here. Kind of a studio ham shack. Like this here's my ham stuff. My HF rig, my shortwave scanners, my 2-meter 440, 70 centimeter, and my regular old VHF scanner. So this is all my radio stuff. And this here is my soundboard, my computers. This is what I run sound on. And then I've got my studio monitors, and I've got a couple mics set up on the other side. It's actually pretty cool. I spent a lot of time. It's taken me probably about 2 years to get this the way I want it. But anyhow, let me know if you guys are curious or interested. I thought about doing that anyhow, just for fun, because podcasting has just exploded. It's like everybody's got a podcast now. So I thought maybe I could do a series on how I do mine and what I use and all that stuff. So anyhow, this podcast, or this this video, is about you guys can see I've got all kinds of. I finally found my Wouxun manual. So this is what this video is about. Is this Wouxun radio right here. It's on the charge cradle right now, but this one right here, I have not given up, you guys. I'm telling you, I am not giving up on this radio. I'll be honest with you, there are things I've not figured out yet, and I'm not close to figuring out yet. But there's a lot I have, so that's what I want to talk about today in this first video. So this is probably going to be, I'm going to try and keep my videos a little bit shorter on this, so all the subjects don't run together in case somebody's searching for something, like for help on a particular menu item or how to program. I did a video on how to program, make sure I get the terminology right, scan groups. The Wouxun, they call them scan groups. Like the Anytone, they call them zones. So this is not your typical radio. And honestly, when I saw a review on it, or overview, or actually not even a review because that's not right, I saw an unboxing, a couple of them, and I did not know what I was getting into. I looked at the specs online, and I have lots of HTs, but this is not like any of them actually. So I'm just looking. I got my Elinco DJ VX50. I love this radio. I'm going to do more of a review. I did a review on this thing, but I need to talk about it more because this thing kills it, you guys. For 90 or about $100, it kills it. And then I'm just making sure I got all my stuff here. But yeah, I've got my FT65 waiting online to do a video on. And this one here doesn't even tell you what it's for on the front page. It says, thank you. Open it up. Thank you for buying a Wouxun transceiver. Offers the latest design, enhanced features, solid performances, and easy accessibility. Well, so that's kind of what I want to talk about, is the functionality of this, kind of what to expect. So like I said, I have a bunch of HTs, and normally, like clear back in the day, I have this this was my first HT. It still works. It's the Elinco DJ-195. Cool radio. The 196, I have a 196 sitting over there, but the 196, the buttons light up too instead of just the screen. Anyhow, this is just a 2 meter. So this thing has 30 channels or 40 channels, I think. This is back in the 90s, early 90s when I got this one. And it's good radio. It sounds really good transmitting. But when you load the frequencies in this thing, it has one bank, one band, right? Or one bank, I guess is the right word. So when you load 1 through 40, and this is kind of what I've been used to all these years. You load 1 through 40, you decide what repeaters you want in there, and you make your little list. I used to hand write them out. In fact, I probably still got them somewhere. But I used to hand write out which repeaters and the tones and all that stuff. Now you just go to repeater book and upload your frequencies to the radio via chirp. These didn't even have chirp, I don't think. I can't remember, but I did not use chirp back then. The first time I used chirp was with the Baofeng UV5R. But so there was one band, one bank, and 1 through 40, and I decided what order I wanted them so I could scan through and, you know, work it that way. Well, if you get into this thing has 999 channels, and it has 10 banks. They call them scan groups. So you need to be aware of what you're getting into with this thing. It's very versatile. And once you get to know the functions and what menu items are what, it is accessible. But figuring that out and trying to program it and organizing things is the key to being organized ahead of time, is why I'm trying to do this. It's the key to eliminate a lot of frustration. I've spent hours trying to figure this thing out and organize it when I didn't have my... So here's the thing too. I didn't use chirp initially. I didn't even buy the cable with it when I bought the radio. But you have to buy the... It says Wouxun USB programming, and this package says PC0 or PCO-001. I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, Windows 10 support on the USB driver, but it is the red USB cable. I'm not sure if the Baofeng cable would work. I don't think so, because it has to have that certain chip in there or whatever. So first of all, go ahead. I would recommend buying the red geez, I'm already at 10 minutes. How the hell? Buying the red cable and using chirp. You'll save yourself a lot of hassle. There's no point in even messing around. But it is good. There's a lot of cool things in here to learn what the menu items do and what they are. So here's something kind of cool. This thing will, so, all right, I don't want to get ahead of myself because I really want to do this right for you guys. It has 10 scan groups. Decide what you want in your scan groups. Organize them out, maybe on a piece of paper or just 1 through 10, and say, I want my local repeaters here. I want long distance repeaters in number 2. NOAA weather in number 3. Fire EMS in number 4, and so on, or whatever, however you want to do it. But organize them out. And also you can go in there on chirp and designate channel ranges. You can't just highlight frequencies and add them to a bank or a group, but say you want a local repeater group, then your main, say it's 5 repeaters, you want that in group 1. You upload those, and 1 through 5, or say 1 through 5, and you're going to call those local, and you would go under scan group and number 1, and you would label it local, and then you would go in and set the channel range from channel 1 to channel 5, and then save it, and then channel 6 through so on for your next group and down the line. But the problem is you have to be organized, because you can't just willy-nilly put frequencies in there, because the way the scan groups work, it's a consecutive channel range. So it won't just be selective. You can't choose 5 here and 10 here down the line, you know, channels 1 through 5 and then 8 through 10 or whatever. You can't select it that way. It has to be consecutive. So that's one of the biggest things that you have to do to be organized to get started on this thing. And I was not organized. I was always with the mindset, it was hard to get around. I had one bank, and I couldn't understand, like, how the heck do they get AM in here? You know what I mean? So I do have, one of my bands is AM. So it allows you to do that. But there's also menu items, and I'll talk about that more later, but there's menu items that will turn AM off and AM, you know, allow it to turn off and on. But what I like about this thing is not only can you use 10 different scan groups, say you have your home repeater that you hang out on. This has what they call a priority channel, and you can go into chirp and set priority channel, and that will allow you to pick whatever channel you want. Say you have your local repeaters in scan group 1, and say number 5 is your home repeater, whatever it is. That's the repeater that somebody can call you, and they can, you know, that's where they can get a hold of you or whatever. You can go into chirp and set priority channel scan, and then set that channel to number 5. You can set it to any of the channels that have a frequency you put in there. So if, say it's not in scan group 1, say it's in scan group 6 or whatever, you can still add that number. Say it's 150. Your priority channel is 150, and you can set that in chirp. And what that will do, even if you're scanning a group, doesn't matter which group it is, it can even be airband, or you can even be on some sort of EMS fire band, or you know, whatever you want. Every 3 seconds, if you have priority channel scan on, every three seconds it will go back and check to see if the primary frequency is busy or if there's any activity on there. So I thought that was really cool. So anyhow, there's so much to this radio, guys. There's so much. One more thing, then I'm going to quit this video because I'm already at 14 minutes. I'm just in disbelief. I know I talked a little bit in the beginning, but when I bought this radio, I just purchased this radio alone, and it came in a box and it had a charge cradle with it. In fact, it's right here, this charge cradle, and it just has a regular wall plug-in. And there, it seems like there's some confusion, and my confusion was too. I did not know this, but when I bought this, from the unboxing that I saw, you got a USB charger and some other accessories with it. So you can buy it without all that stuff and just the cradle for $160. But if you want the other stuff, which I think is really a good deal, and I'm going to get one, because the answer to this, whether I like this radio or not, is I absolutely do. I am all in on this radio, even though I haven't figured out a bunch of things yet. But in order to do that, to get those things, you have to go buy what they call the anniversary kit. And I don't know anything about like Wouxun's anniversary details, or you know, how long they've been in business, or even how long this radio's been out. I think it's a new radio, but if you buy the anniversary kit, there's a lot of things, like a 2 batteries. Comes with 2 batteries, and they're big batteries. It comes with the regular wall charger, and it comes with the USB charger that plugs into the cradle, not the radio. It comes with a 12-volt receptacle adapter that actually has a battery. You take the battery off and put one of those, gosh, it's like a 12-volt receptacle, but it replaces the battery, and you could just run it right from the car charger. Has one of those in there, and I forget what else, but a couple other things. But I think, I want to say it's $219 or something, or you have to look it up. But I bought mine from buy2aradios.com. I'm not affiliated with these guys. I don't get nothing from nobody. I pay for everything. I'm hoping someday to get my channel to where I can actually maybe do some advertising, and I might do some affiliate links down the road. But as of right now, I have, what, 47 subscribers. If you guys really want to help, that would be cool. Just subscribe, and it really helps me motivate. I'm not looking to get rich off of this stuff. I don't care. I've got a good job. I'm doing this, but what it does do is it motivates me that I'm actually helping others, because what I would have liked is to find a video on somebody breaking down how to run this dang thing, and I still can't figure out a couple things on here. So I'm working on it. Maybe I'll get there by the time this little series is done. So I'll try and be more organized on the next one, a little bit more specific on some things. But I just wanted to talk about the scan groups on this thing. It's not your traditional radio, but here's the thing, here's kind of cool, because say you get your local repeaters, your 5 or 10 or 15 or whatever in your city, and whatever you use or what you want to scan, you can go in and set the scan group to that. Say you have that in number 1, like your local, just set it, name it local, and you can scan local, and it will go through just like this one will on scan group 1 local, and it'll act like your traditional setup. But if you wanted to go in, this is a cool part, because all you have to do once you have them all programmed It's going to take a while to program this thing, you guys. I mean, I was here 2 hours just sitting here messing with Chirp the other day, and I still haven't got it all the way. I really want to fine tune it. I just wanted to get something in there and play with it and figure it out. But you're going to have a lot of frequencies in there, and all you have to do is go in and change scan group and then hit scan again, and now you're scanning your EMS or fire. And remember, if you have primary channel, you don't have to miss your traffic on your main channel. Just hit that and turn it on. So I'll talk about that more next time. But as far as this radio, hell yeah, I'm all in for this thing. It's been frustrating. If you watch my other videos, I'm kind of him hawing around, kind of complaining. I still complain, but I like the radio a lot. And I have, so I'm at 19 minutes. I'll try and finish this up. I do have one cool story. Just yesterday, I was out on the road and traveling, and there was an accident, or the traffic was stopped on the road, and I pull up and we're all on the highway just kind of sitting there. And so I get this thing out. I'm like, all right, well, I've been sitting here maybe 20 minutes. I get the radio out, I turn it to the simplex call channel, and I say, throw up my call sign and say, hey, anybody can anybody hear me, copy me? I'm looking for some traffic information on the standstill here on the freeway. And a guy got back to me, local guy, and was able to tell me kind of what the details up ahead, because I couldn't see what was going on. There was a semi truck and a car accident, but I thought that was really cool. 10 watts on this thing got me out pretty good. So here's the second half to this story. Is while I was sitting there, a local net came on, and I was tuning around and listening, and so I checked in, and I'm sitting in my car just with this, and I was able to hit a repeater 23 miles away, and I got a really good signal report and audio report. I told them what's going on. From this radio, they said it's a good, clean, loud signal from where I was sitting, which is pretty cool. And I was on high power on 10 watts. And then I also was able to pass on that traffic accident to the net, if anybody was traveling this area, to give them a heads up. So yeah, this thing, I'm not sure 5 watt would have done that well, but they were hearing me full quieting. Well, maybe probably not full quieting, but he said clean, good, strong, clean, and clear signal, because I told him what I was doing. I was on HT, and yeah, I like that story, because it really, the more people that have these things carrying with them, or even a mobile station or something, they're out there helping each other. It helped me out, I mean. So, all right, 21 minutes. It's hard to keep these videos short. I don't want to hurry and rush. But this radio, I'm going to do this. This is going to be the first video in the series. I'll try and be a little more specific and organized next time. But I just want you guys to know I like this radio, and I recommend it. And a good battery life, good audio, good accessories. Boy, I'm going to try and go over all those things in time. So look for these videos to come. And I'm going to put them all in a playlist when I get going, but I'm going to upload them as I go. So hope you watch and follow, and I would not be afraid to buy one of these things. At 160 bucks, I think it's a good radio. I wasn't sure at first, just because I was so dang frustrated with programming, but I think it's a good radio. And I think the anniversary kit is probably a good deal too, with all the accessories you get. And I'm going to use it for my bug out bag, or my comms setup, just because it's so well rounded, and you get those extra goodies. So thanks for watching, you guys. 7-3, I really appreciate it, and thanks for bearing with me, and I hope all that made sense. And let me know if you want to tour the studio or podcast talking about all my stuff, whatever. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Have a good one. 7-3.